In this video for Positive Maths, we're going to look at the Junior Cert Ordinary Level 2014 sample paper. This is question 16 from paper 2. Part 1. A bee found a hidden flower halfway between flower B and flower D. Find the coordinates of this hidden flower. So if we look at our points B and D, we'll estimate for now that the midpoint is going to be located about here. I'm going to call the midpoint for now x. So to find it using our coordinates, we need a formula, and we're going to find this on page 18 of our formula and logbook. So the midpoint is equal to the sum of the x values divided by 2 and the sum of the y values divided by 2. So the points that we're using are B, which is 1, 2, and D, which is 5, 6. So I'm going to label these x1, y1 and x2, y2. So our midpoint is going to be 1 plus 5 divided by 2, 2 plus 6 divided by 2. It's going to give us 6 over 2 and 8 over 2. So our midpoint is going to be 3, 4. If we go back to our graph and we check that our estimation is true, so that point is 3, 4. Part 2. Another flower E can be located by completing the square ABCE. Write down the coordinates of the point E. So if we need to complete a square, let's start off at A and go down to B. We see that we move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces down. B to C is 5 spaces across, so therefore our point E is going to be located 5 points above C. So our point E is going to be located at the point 6, 7. Part 3. B1 and B2 are on flower A. B1 flies directly from flower A to B and then on to C. B2 flies from flower A directly to D and then on to C. Write down which bee has travelled the shortest distance in total. And give a reason for your answer. So in order to be able to kind of see this visually, first of all, I'm going to map out how they travelled. So B1 is going to be marked out in blue. So we're told B1 flies directly from flower A to flower B and then on to C. And then B2, which I'm going to mark the path of its flight in red, that travels from A to D directly and then to C. So we need to find which bee has travelled the shortest distance. The first distance that we're going to calculate is the distance travelled by B1. So if it travels from A to B, it has travelled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units from A to B, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units from B to C. So we know first of all that the distance AB is equal to 5. The distance BC is equal to 5. So the total distance is equal to 10. In order to find the distances that B2 travels, we need to use another formula on page 18, which is our distance formula. So the distance between 2 points is equal to the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. The first distance we're going to find is the distance from A to D. So to do that, we're just going to write out our points. So A is 1, 7 and D is 5, 6. I need to label these x1, y1 and x2, y2. So the distance AD is going to be equal to the square root of x2, which is 5, minus x1, which is 1 squared, plus y2 is 6, minus y1 is minus 7 squared. So if 5 minus 1 gives me 4, 4 squared is equal to 16. 6 minus 7 gives me minus 1. Minus 1 squared gives me 1. So I have the square root of 17, which is equal to 4.123. Now I'm going to calculate the distance from D to C. So again, I'm going to write out my points. So D is 5, 6, and C is 6, 2. I'm going to label them x1, y1, and x2, y2. So my distance from D to C is going to be x2, which is 6 minus 5 squared, plus 2 minus 6 squared. 6 minus 5 is going to give me 1, so 1 squared is just 1. 2 minus 6 is going to give me minus 4. Minus 4 squared is 16. So again, that's the square root of 17. So that's going to be equal to 4.123. So the total distance then is equal to 8.246. So if we go back to our answer, we need to find the shortest total distance. B1, the total distance is 10. B2, the total distance is 8.246. So our answer is the shortest distance. It's going to be B2. The reason for our answer is going to be that the distance AD plus the distance DC is less than the distance from AB plus BC. For more information, visit PositiveMaths.ie, email us at info@PositiveMaths.ie, and follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks for watching.